Hello, everyone. It's Brandon Davis, and this will be my first media review. And we're kicking it off with WW84, Wonder Woman 1984. So let's dive right into it. This will be my personal review of it, having just seen it recently. And this will be spoiler-ridden review. So if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out and come back and see what I think about it. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. What I typically do when reviewing any type of media is I look for specific beats that I like, and it's usually 5 things. Usually I judge a movie off of the characters, the storyline, plot twists, if there are any, action scenes or fight scenes, and dialogue. So those are the 5 things I usually critique bits of media about, and that's usually what I try to impart in my writing as well. I try to make sure I have all 5 of those things in order and expressed well as I go. I would give Wonder Woman a C to C minus, and so it was pretty okay, pretty average, and that's kind of the sentiment that I'm getting from people who I've heard talk about it before I even went to watch it. That it was okay, and I kind of feel the same way about it. It was middling to somewhat bad. So character-wise, the characters in the movie are, Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman. The problem that I had with her in particular is that, going into this movie, I was excited to see more of Wonder Woman, and the majority of the movie is lacking Wonder Woman. She's we see her in the beginning show up in a mall as Wonder Woman, and for probably the next hour or so, we deal with Diana Prince and not Wonder Woman. So she's not busting heads, she's not blocking bullets with her, and it's just severely lacking of that up until the end, the final turn, and that was pretty disappointing for me anyway, and I imagine it would be disappointing for other people because we came to see Wonder Woman. There's way less Wonder Woman in this movie, and that right there is like a big issue, a big problem I had with it. As far as the other characters, Trevor's back, played by Chris Pine. He does a good job as usual, and his return actually has something to do with the story, which is great. They didn't just bring him back just to bring him back. There's a reason for his return, and that she wished for his return with the stone that they've been that they're chased throughout the movie. So I like that aspect of his return. As far as the antagonists, who are really the only other characters worth mentioning in the movie, there are 2 antagonists in the movie, and one of them, I feel like we don't get a lot of time with Barbara, who becomes Diana's physical obstacle, her physical match. She starts off as this kind of relatable, dorky, geeky character, and then she makes a wish to become more like Diana, and she gets her strength. She becomes more confident in herself, and it's interesting, but it kind of moves forward a bit too quickly for my taste, in that her villainous turn when she stops becoming that sweet girl and she starts becoming a bad person, kind of happens a little too quickly for me. It's too in your face, and part of that I feel is because of the other antagonist in the movie, Max Lord, who he is on the screen probably more than even Diana is. He takes up a lot of we follow him around a lot in the movie, and that would be an okay thing if he was this really interesting and intriguing character, but he's not really. And he kind of actively takes away from the things that we really want to see. Like, I want to see more of what Wonder Woman is doing. I want to see more of the dynamic between her and Barbara, and I want to see that kind of whittle down to them becoming enemies. But instead of focusing on that, we follow Max Lord around across the globe and his dealings or whatnot, and it's kind of like, I don't really care that Max Lord is doing this. I'm not invested in him as much as the characters who I came to see the movie for, because you really don't even see Max Lord in the trailers, do you? Like, I don't recall. Even if we do see him, we don't really know what he's doing in the movie. So we are just, from the beginning, we don't care about Max Lord. And this movie tries very hard to make you care about him. We spend a whole lot of time with him. Too much, in my opinion. Way too much. And it kind of speaks to the ineffectiveness of your villain when we spend the majority of time with this character and we still don't care about him. Like a good villain, when he's on screen, he has your attention. Every time they're on screen, it's like, I can't wait to see what this guy does. Like, this is amazing. But Max Lord, the only reason he has your attention is because he's on screen. And they give him a lot of screen time, which was a problem, I think. Like, this guy wasn't it. Then there's the action scenes, the fight scenes. And I have to say that the fight scenes weren't very good in this movie. And I was surprised by that, because in the last movie, they were pretty damn good. Yeah, I enjoyed the fight scenes in the first movie. This one, not so much. Like, not only were there not many fight scenes in it, because there was not too much Wonder Woman in it, go figure, but the fight scenes that happened weren't very good fight scenes. The first fight scene that happened was just her beating up some guys in the mall, and that one was kind of more of just a fun romp. Like, hey, Wonder Woman's back. So I didn't expect too much from that. Okay. We didn't get another fight scene really until close towards the end of the movie, when Diana fought Barbara at the White House, or she had a brawl with some guys, security detail in the White House, and that fight was okay. It didn't really get intense until Barbara showed up, and Barbara was just kind of beating the shit out of Wonder Woman. That one was but that wasn't the major clash. So even that fight was kind of like, okay, wasn't great, but next fight, that's when it's gonna go down. So the final fight between Wonder Woman and Barbara, when Wonder Woman regained her powers, that fight was not good. It was just not a good fight. There was no, I don't know who choreographed it, but it was just not a good fight. It wasn't enthralling at all. At no point did I feel like, oh damn, Wonder Woman could lose. At no point in the fight was it like that. It was kind of just Barbara just thrashing wildly at her, and then Wonder Woman being like, okay, I think it's time I end this fight. And then she ends the fight. It was that final fight was a real letdown. Like, it was not good at all. Uh, there's really nothing much to say about that. And then her encounter with Max Lord at the end, who was, I guess, the true antagonist, wasn't really that great either. I don't understand what the deal was with the wind that was happening, because I just, at that moment, I didn't understand, because she just fought, a giant cheetah cat person and beat the hell out of her with relative ease. And now Max Lord, who is just a regular guy but has the power to grant wishes, somehow the wind is pushing her back and making her not able to reach him. I just didn't understand it. I didn't know what was going on at that point. I don't know if anybody else can explain that to me, but I was confusion at that moment. I was just like, he can grant wishes to people. Why? What is happening? Why can't you touch him? I don't understand. But yeah, the fight scenes were pretty bad. No, actually, my mistake. There was an action scene before that, and that was them on the road, uh, when Diana and Trevor had to fight Max Lord's security detail with the vehicles or whatnot. And that one, once again, wasn't that great. That wasn't clearly it wasn't that great, because I literally forgot about it. I literally forgot that it happened. So yeah, the fight scenes were just not good in this movie, and I was really disappointed, because already there wasn't enough Wonder Woman in it. So when Diana was Wonder Woman, I was expecting her to, do her thing. All right, it's gonna get good, and the fight scenes were lackluster. So that's that. Dialogue was okay. In most movies, dialogue is okay. With kind of a rule with the dialogue that I have anyway, it's like, as long as you don't mess it up, you know, your dialogue is usually fine. As long as you don't say something stupid, your dialogue is usually it'll usually be okay. If you don't say anything that's unrealistic or just out of the ordinary or inappropriate at that moment in time, then usually your dialogue will be okay. Uh, so there was, yeah, the dialogue in this movie was pretty middle of the ground, middle of the road. Nothing spectacular. Nothing really terrible about it. Or there was actually one particular moment in the very beginning where this guy, the people who were in the mall robbing the mall, uh, I don't know where they got this guy, but he said one of the henchmen was about to throw a little girl over the balcony, and the old guy, who I assume was the leader, reached out and was like, "No!" It was so weird the way he did it. It was so cheesy, and the fact that they decided to keep that like in the movie was pretty funny to me. Like, nobody thought that. Somebody actually saw that and was like, "You got it, nailed it. That's it." Other than that, the dialogue was okay. I think, just okay. Um, I did enjoy the moment with Trevor and Diana right before Diana uh, kind of let her wish go. I did enjoy that little moment. when she said, "I'll never love again," which I thought was a pretty good line. I don't know if the delivery was all that great. I mean, but I think that line itself is a pretty good line. I'll never love again. So that was cool. Trevor's line, I think his response was, no, she said, "I can't say goodbye," which, yeah, whatever. Not a very good line, but, and he said, "You don't have to say goodbye, because I'm already gone." And okay, that was, eh, okay line, whatever. So dialogue to me was like, it was okay. It wasn't great. Some of it was kind of bad, but it's all right. Storyline to me was fine. I don't usually expect much going into comic book movies as far as storyline, unless they change a story. Uh, this one was kind of, by the numbers. Oh, there's an object we have to get. Bad guy has it. We got to get it back. We got to stop him. Uh, Pretty much by the numbers thing. No big deal. Uh, Nothing really out of the ordinary in the story, besides, I think, the connection between Diana and Trevor's return. I think I did enjoy that dynamic, that she wished for Trevor's return, but she lost her powers, and she had to actually let Trevor die again in order to get her powers back and save the day. I did enjoy that dynamic. I think that it was poorly executed in the grand scheme of things, but that dynamic I liked. And then the dynamic that Barbara got what she wanted from the wish, so she didn't want to return anything. I did enjoy that. So those two dynamics, I think, were fine. I think that in the grand scheme of the story, it was poorly executed. There were really a lot of poorly executed moments in the story that would have been pretty cool had they had some type of foreshadowing or something instead of just having them happen. Uh, for instance, Diana turning the plane invisible, turning the jet invisible that they were flying. Uh, I liked the nod to, the original Wonder Woman in that. Hey, invisible jet, cool. Poorly executed, though. Very poorly executed. Diana was suddenly able to turn the jet invisible. And this ability wasn't mentioned or hinted at any point in the movie until she did it. And I was kind of like, so Diana can turn things invisible now? Like, she can do that now? That's just a power she has now. Right now, she got it. And we'll probably never see it again. And we didn't. We never saw that power ever used again through the rest of the movie. And I doubt that we'll see it in the next Wonder Woman movie. So it's kind of like, why do it? Why do that like that? So that was silly to me. It's like, if you're gonna have the invisible jet in it, there's so many better ways to do it than that. Than her gaining the ability of flight. Another thing that she just kind of does. And it really, the moment they were going for with that is kind of Trevor inspiring her and giving her the ability of flight, because that's his gift. So now she has his gift. I see what they were trying to do. Once again, it was poorly executed. It was just not well done. There was no foreshadowing, nothing to hint or to give the audience an idea that, maybe she could possibly fly. No, it wasn't any of that. It was just, oh, I believe in myself. I believe in Trevor. I'm going to start flying now. And she started flying, and it was just like, what? What is happening? So, can she just create her own powers now? Is that what she can do? Is that what the power of a demigod? Is that it? She can just I can just be invisible. I can see through walls now. Like, it leaves so many questions where it's just like I don't know what she's capable of. But there were good moments in the movie that were just executed badly, you know. And it's a shame because I think moments like that can turn a great movie into a mediocre movie. And that's what I feel like has happened with this movie. Great moments executed poorly several times. And then the moments are lost. Things that I liked about the movie, I'll talk about that. The ending, the credits, there's a scene in there at the end where they have the original Wonder Woman show up and they reveal that she is Asteria, the legendary warrior. That was cool. That was cool. I really liked that moment, that little callback. That was dope. I like that. That was well done, right? Well done moment. I like the idea of the invisible jet happening. That was kind of cool. Like, oh, okay, a little callback. Cool. And her being able to fly is cool, but once again, I just didn't like the execution of it. I always love Chris Pine. Chris Pine is a good actor to me. He's one of my faves. He did a really good job in this movie. He did. What else was enjoyable? I mean, yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Kirsten Wiig, I think she did a really good job too. I just hate that we spent so little time with her character because of the two antagonists, I think that she is the more interesting one. And had we spent more time with her development, we really could have had a better villain. Less time with Max Lord and more time with Barbara would have served this movie better, I think. And I think the final scene in the movie, the final scenes when everybody kind of comes together and lets their wishes go, I think that was pretty cool. I see what they were doing with that. It didn't quite hit that emotional note for me, just because everything leading up to it was so crazy that it was hard for me to get into it. But I see what they were trying to do, and I do appreciate that. But yeah, all in all, I have to give it a C minus. So check it out, though. I mean, I'm still a DC fan, and I will still see the next Wonder Woman. Excuse me, whenever that is. Is this movie going to revitalize, the DC universe? No, doubtful. Doubtful. Disappointing, but that's the way it goes. But thanks for checking me out, guys. This is my Wonder Woman 84 movie review, my first review. I'll be having others. I'll be reviewing other other bits of media as we go. Probably for my next review, I'll be doing Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and Children of Virtue and Vengeance by her as well. That'll be my next review, book review. And a lot of my reviews, as I said, will be science fiction, fantasy, either movies, books, or TV shows. That's where I'm at. I might even throw some anime in there. Who knows? Thank you guys for checking me out. Peace.